I'm live. Live. Oops, and I hit the wrong button. And it's not showing me the playlist. So I don't know what's going on. With the chat and everything. What if I refresh the page? Also, I keep getting a tickle here, like there's a hair that I missed when I did the shaving in the shower earlier. It's really bugging me. There I am. Live chat, not talk chat. Good. Okay, now we are somewhere. Oh, get comfy again. Back. I was going to do it. Oh, fuck. You're stream yawning. Stream yawning again. It happens. It happens so often. Why are you sticking out on this side and not on this side? What is the deal with that? It's so annoying. I do have a beard question. I do have a beard question for you guys. I guess you can't see the hand behind it. Weird. I do have a beard question for you guys. But later. I've also got a bit of a cold because Damon's got a cold and he gave it to me, which is super fun. So what's been happening? What has been happening this week? Nothing. I have not been able to upload anything because YouTube had shut down one of my channels, and basically I tried to keep it on the down low for a brief amount of time, so that I'm not kind of immediately crushing another channel that I have. So my desk is all messy now. I've been doing some art, but I'm not a lot of art, essentially. I've kind of been professionally insulted, but I don't know how to say. I don't know how to. I don't know how to tell this person that you shouldn't tell people this. You know, it kind of bummed me out a little bit because yeah. Well, essentially, somebody was asking me about my artwork and stuff, about my professional work and shit, and I don't have a website that basically I can point to say, here's my professional artwork and stuff. You know, whenever I have had somebody that's been interested in my services that has not been on For Affinity or DeviantArt, essentially, it's been a case of I just I build a small portfolio, send them the pictures, and then basically they say if they want to hire me or not. That's fine. That's great. It's just a very professional way of doing things. It's very impersonal and stuff. But no, there's a guy who basically came onto my Facebook page and then essentially just started talking to me about my artwork and wanted to know about it on my personal Facebook page, not like a LinkedIn profile or anything. This is on my bare Facebook page, so it's kind of a bit confusing. And then they wanted some examples and wanted to know where my professional art portfolio is and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't have a website. I don't have a professional art portfolio online anywhere. You know, you basically, if you want to know the stuff that I've done for other people and other companies and stuff, you ask the companies and people, you know. Because once I've basically like signed away the rights to a particular picture, concept art, illustration, whatever, it belongs to them, you know. Tattoo design. The tattoo design thing is really irritating to me. That's that's a weirdly sketchy business in the first place. Really, you know. I mean, there's good money out of it, but essentially it's a one-time fee. You don't get paid every time somebody has that tattoo done, and that's fine. But it's like there's not even an option for it. It seems a bit weird to me. Anyway, yeah. So I sent over some pictures to this guy, and basically he was like, "Oh, well, that's cool. It's nothing like professional grade, like portfolio material, though." And I was like, all right then. So yeah, I felt that hurt. You know, because some of the stuff I sent him was professional grade stuff that I don't own the rights to anymore because it's not mine anymore. So yeah, I yeah, just a weird one, just kind of a weird conversation that was supposed to be kind of like a personal conversation that it's just weird. It's just weird. Talking business, you know, talking business on my Facebook page, on my Barry Facebook page, on, you know, on my social Facebook page on Messenger. There, weird. It's just weird. You know. If it was basically, you know, some Barry art, some furry art, some art that they want me to do, then I basically would be like, yeah, you know, here's some stuff that I've done. But they were asking for something very specific, and it's like, again, it's very informal, and you know, it's not, it's very impersonal, that stuff, and that's kind of the different side of the art world that I'm in, but not. I try not to mix with my personal life. It's weird. It's weird to explain. But yeah, I've been doing other drawings. I've done. I did the Robin Hood and Little John. I did the Little John picture, and also did the. I just finished today. Oh god. I just finished the K. Rule picture as well, so that's something. And I've already got a request to do Pete as a human, and that's gonna be fun because it's like the other two, converting them to human is weird because they are they're animals that need to be turned into humans, and that's, like I said, that's just weird in the first place, because cartoons proportions are intentionally made to be cartoons proportions. So essentially, making those human is weird because if you suddenly add human proportions, I learned this with the Baloo picture, they turn odd. It just doesn't look right. And if you go back and look at the Baloo picture that I did, you know, I basically, to get that proportions to look right, his head is way too big. It's a cartoon though. His head's too big. His torso is huge compared to his arms and legs. Again, fine for anything that is an anime cartoon. So yeah. So with Pete, I think I'm going to go the same route. I'm basically going to just turn him into a human, and it's going to be weird because he's got a very elongated torso compared to the rest of his body, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Also, trying to figure out what kind of ethnicity to pick as Pete is going to be odd, because the other two, it's just what came natural to them, you know? You got Baloo, who is a grey and white bear. You know, he's light grey and dark grey bear. It's like, yeah, he's a tubby white guy. You know, he's a tubby white guy. Little John is a brown bear, and basically his portions very much match what I would expect to be expect from a hunky, berry black guy. So I did that. And we got like a semi-Samoan K Raw as well that I just finished, and it's like, yeah. But that was mainly because I did his head very meaty, and I kind of wanted to, it was kind of like a Tubby Rock situation, and I was like, what? Yeah. But Pete is a white guy, and yet he is basically a black dog. So it's a hard one. It's a hard one. And I've got a bad feeling that I'm essentially going to just end up drawing my cousin. Because my cousin has Pete's voice, and it's just so funny to me. Because that's probably what I'm going to end up drawing. Just a hairless version of my cousin. Ugh. Anyway. So yeah, I've just been doing a bunch of drawing. I haven't done any filming because we've been over the whole, YouTube ban thing. And it's been very stormy here, but then again, January, February, March, there's usually a bunch of storms happening just in this part of the country, which is fine. It's just kind of irritating because it screws with the internet connectivity for some reason. So yeah, my wireless keyboard keeps telling me, it keeps flashing the low battery light, but actually it doesn't stay on. So I don't know if it actually has low batteries, but I've got batteries spare. That's why the episode is called Low Battery. Also because I kind of ran out of steam this week with just my professional duties. I just haven't done any work. Like any paid work. I haven't done any paid work. I've worked on a bunch of personal art stuff, but essentially that's it, and organizing like trips and see if I actually have money to actually go places this year and stuff like that. And then of course I got a cold from my partner, and that's great. That's great. I'm hoping it isn't like proper full-on flu that's going to hit me, because I've got a trip coming up, and I do not need no bullshit 2-month long, like, annoying flu bullshit that happens to me. Every few years, I get flu that can last a whole month. I basically, for 4 weeks, I am just wanting it to end, and I am willing to kill myself because I just I can't stand this. I can't stand that all the time, and the blocked up nose, and all of the other stuff, all of the other shit. Just, it's like, oh, the weakness, feeling knackered all the time, feeling achy, feeling hot, or feeling way too cold, and then feeling hot again. Oh my god! It just, like I said, every few years I get hit with that, and it's like, yeah. I thought I had this last year in the summer, somewhere in the middle of the summer, but it might have been the year before last. Either way, bullshit. And I do not want bullshit to happen on my potentially my last trip to America. So yeah. I also have the beard question, and now the beard question, I know it keeps coming up. It's very much like the depression. It's the roaming topic of these live streams. But beard question. I was looking down through my beard the other day, and I noticed that I could actually, from my point of view, I could see my fingers. And there's a lot of beard in the way. And I was like, is it weird? Is it too wiry? It doesn't look that thick. And it doesn't look that thick in real life. On camera, it does look that thick. You can't see my fingers, but if I look down, I can see my fingers. So it's weird. I do not know. I might have to ask somebody how it looks. I might have to ask Dave how it looks and basically ask him, do you think I should get rid of it? I don't know. So I'm debating it. I'm debating getting rid of it. The bet is not on anymore. So it's like, why am I doing this? So yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the comments, and then we'll get on with the voting. I'm not expecting to spend forever tonight on here because I don't have any art stuff going on. But yeah. But no, Owen's here. He says it's winter. Everybody has a cold, and yeah, I know. I just hope I hope I get it, and then it goes away. I hope it's one of those colds, not a bullshit one. Owen says, be employed. Get money, be paid. Artists deserve getting paid for their work. Okay, if you're a freelance artist like me, and a freelance tutor and all that other stuff, then basically, like, I work on commission. So, yeah, essentially, if nobody wants my services, then I don't get paid, and that seems to be what's happening. So there we go. There we go. Also, I can't get paid by Pornhub anymore because they have cut off links with PayPal, and that's fun. So I can't even make videos for money. So yeah. Basically, life sucks. Isn't it great? Had a crazy but fun night, but worship can get a bit weird. Okay. Pest Control 65 says, tell me more about butt worship. Wow. Okay, and it just seems to be you two guys watching tonight, and that's okay. Is okay. Maybe Jeffers will find the stream a bit later, but yeah. Yeah, so how are you guys? What is up? I was playing a game earlier, and essentially I was just finding it really hard to focus on the game and also watch TV, because I do that. I play a little bit of a game while watching Netflix or Amazon Prime. I'm watching Bob's Burgers because essentially I have not seen Bob's Burgers, and I thought that if I watched Bob's Burgers, then I don't like the visual style, I don't like the design of the characters, and I don't like the voices. And they seem to reuse a bunch of voices over and over and over again, and I hate that normally. It's one of the reasons I don't watch Family Guy anymore, is because it just kind of pisses me off. Plus, there's like way too much drug humor in there now, so that's fun. Yeah, but no, it's the opposite. In fact, I actually, I am tickled by some of the art choices, some of the design choices that they have in that show. I kind of like it. I was actually considering, basically, I think I'm gonna actually maybe try to draw like a person in their style, the style of Bob's Burgers. Maybe give it a go, just for personal curiosity and stuff. But I don't know. And the voices, I'm getting used to them, and I keep recognizing people as well. So yeah. Plus, I'm a fan of the guy who plays Archer and Bob, and yeah, I kind of like him in almost anything he does, So there's that draw for me, but it's just the yeah. But the humor seems to be there seems to be a weird off balance with the humor in there. I kind of like the humor. I just wish there was more of it, and I'm not a fan of like the high school bullshit. The kids so much. I kind of like the hyper realistic stuff that happens you know, because it's a TV show, it's an animated TV show, they can do a bunch of stuff, and it's great. I like it, but there's a bunch of like high school and kiddie stuff that I don't like. You know, it's not. You know, I'm personally can't relate to that stuff anymore because you know I didn't go to high school in the US. I went to high school here. I just don't. You know, I can't relate to a lot of that stuff. I can relate to certain situations, I guess, but yeah. So I think that's what it is. I just wish there was more adult humor in it. There's lots of adult humor in it, but there's lots of relatable stuff in the adults in the show. But yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, I've been watching that, and that's kind of fun. But I found that I couldn't focus on both while I was while I was playing the game earlier, and yeah, I think it's because of the code that my battery's running low. I don't know. Bob Belcher being inflated until all his clothes explode would be fun. No, I wasn't thinking about doing like a kinky thing with him. I don't think that's possible in that universe, unless it was like a weird dream sequence or something. I don't know. I like that there's a character with a balloon fetish, and he's not judged at all for it. Oh, the old guy. Yeah, I've already gotten up to that. And I liked it. I thought it was funny. I've that whole community is hilarious. It's actually it doesn't Bob say something like the balloon thing? Yeah, don't ask. But I do actually kind of want to try some of that. I thought it was funny. There's some weird stuff. So yeah, I'm actually gonna have some more fizzy. That helps my throat a little bit. I'm really trying to not be annoyed at my partner, at Damon, for giving me this cold. But I know you can't help it. There's a Luna character on Bob's Burgers. I need to watch more of this show. It's literally a side character who does he even have lines, or is he? Oh, I know. No, it's one episode, and he basically doesn't get enough screen time. So I watch it, but don't watch it for that because you're going to be disappointed. Like I said, literally one episode. Do they deal with that? Oh my god, that feels so much better. Oh. So yeah, like I said, it's funny. It's funny. I'm starting to get annoyed at basically a bunch of the kids have adult voices and stuff. A bunch of the kids on the show have adult voices, and it's okay. You know, it's okay with that because some of them they can pull off, like Tina. There's the character who plays Tina. I mean, they can pull it off, but it's like it's clearly an adult voice, and it bugs me a little bit. And some of the kids are played by adults. It's like somebody said this about Big Mouth, I think. That they hate that show because it looks ugly, and it's just completely irritating to hear adult voices come out of kids' mouths. Well, so yeah, it's just weird. But that seems to happen a bunch on Bob's Burgers. It doesn't happen all the time. It literally is like 3 characters, and one side character every now and again that comes out of the woodwork. You know, every now and again there'll be somebody that is, you know, clearly they're 35-year-old to 45-year-old, and they're just drawn to be a child, and it's like, but it's an adult. It's weird. It's weird. The is it Chinchilla? The Chinchilla episode? They're basically the kid that really wants to look after the chinchilla. He is that's an adult. That's not a kid. But yeah, we get treated so harshly by mainstream media that any depiction where we show to be humans or have actual feelings instead of just being a joke is good by me. Well, it is a joke. It's part of a joke, but it's basically like they're just, it's funny, but they don't point it out as being funny. I guess you can see the humor in it. I don't know. I mean, I always find it funny whenever I know I find out that somebody's in the furry community and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, you're the thing, you're in the, that's kind of funny. I wouldn't have pictured that. And stuff. It's funny, interesting, But I think you'll find that basically, if you only, only one, only like what they call cis heterosexual partnerships and stuff like that, it's hard to basically make fun of that. It just is hard to make fun of that. It's not really funny at all. And that's considered normal. And then basically you have all the other stuff, and that's because that is like not normal. It, statistically isn't normal. It basically, it can be a joke. And I get why it's funny. I get why people make fun of it. It's just that, some people are sensitive to stuff like that. I don't know. It's happening more and more with the bear community recently, and I think there's like 2 or 3 mentions so far in Bob's Burgers of the bear community, and I find that hilarious because it's like and they're made fun of for being bears, and yet it's kind of like, I'm not butthurt about it. I kind of find it funny myself too, Well, one of the characters says something about like, it's like, I didn't know you were a sloppy bear, because he was wearing a dirty shirt and it was slightly chubby, and he basically had a mustache that made him a sloppy bear. And it's like, yeah, we do that. We do that sometimes. My shirt, in fact, right now has a food stain, and I haven't showered, so I'm a sloppy bear. So yeah, I know it's a bit of a silly thing to begin with. I actually have quite a good sense of humor about it. Yeah, I do about all of the things. It's when basically stuff gets kind of like when things get irritatingly like misjudged, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. A few years ago, it was in California. A few years ago, I think it was in California, there was a big furry convention, and essentially it got gassed, and people were hospitalized and stuff. And the media reported it to be like meanwhile at a furry convention, basically some furs got a prank played on them, and it turned out to be not so good fun and stuff like that. And it's like, people went to hospital. It was a gas attack. This isn't a joke. This is a serious matter. And it's like, these news reporters just like, they were disgusting. Oh, but that stuff that really infuriated me and stuff like that. And it's like, people are just being considered to be degenerates because of stuff like this. It's just like no, they're people. There's nothing wrong with them. They just happen to like certain stuff. I get it. Anyway, there was so much awful. It was a hate crime, which was reported as a joke. It made me furious. Exactly. That's kind of what bugged me about it as well. Should we do the voting tonight? Because I am going to start posting back on YouTube again this week coming. But yeah, I don't know if anybody was interested in booting up the voting engine again. Let me get the topic poll up. Oh wow, wow. Okay. So I was looking at my Discord and noticed that like 2 things have been voted on. And it's kind of like, what? Okay, these might be difficult, but I'll do it. Yeah. You might get your balloon stuff this time. Is Balloon Week on? Balloon Week happened. It's on this list. Pest Control, have you been on here before, but under a different name? Just curious. Oh, something else that happened this week. Well, happened yesterday, kind of. I was starting to get irritated by a bunch of people joining the Discord server. I don't know if anybody's on the Discord server. Owen, are you on the Discord server? Anyway, yeah, a bunch of people are on the Discord server that kept joining, even though I'm not sending out links anymore, because it's very, very hard to do that. And for some reason, this site, for some reason, blocks Discord joining links, and it's really irritating because I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot share the link via here. I have to go in later and basically like put it into the description down below, and it's like, ugh. It's not that it's hard, it's just that it's kind of like I keep forgetting to do it. I just forget to do it. So I guess it is hard to remember. Anyway, I'm not sending out links to my Discord server anymore. If you want the link to the Discord server, then just ask. I will give one to you. But essentially, people kept joining somehow still. And yeah, and not participating in the actual thing. And I'm okay with lurkers. I am, just as long as you basically leave a message saying, hello, just here to have a look around, just want to see the just want to see the raw footage gallery or the picture gallery or whatever, because I have a picture gallery on there as well. I want to look at the artwork or whatever, I want to check the archives and stuff. I get it. That's cool. But if you just come on here and just lurk and don't say anything at all, at least at the beginning, then I was getting annoyed at that, because that might be considered to be, just gathering information. Seriously, what is the term for this? Data mining? I think it's data mining and stuff like that. And it's just, I didn't want my server to be infected by anything like that, because I've already been a victim of shit like this, and it really pisses me off when people do that. And basically it kept happening again and again. So I was like, okay, so I basically had a roll call. Well, everyone used it as a roll call, even though I basically just posted, if you don't stand off in the next 24 hours, then I'm going to kick you. So they gave them 24 hours, and the people that stayed, and I kicked everybody who didn't respond to that. And essentially, it's clear now, so I don't know how many more votes I'm going to get in the upcoming weeks. But like I said, if anybody wants the Discord link, then just let me know. I will do my bestiest to get it to you guys. Anyway, Balloon Week should never stop. Well, if I do something 1 week, then essentially it has to go away until all of the list is cleared again. And then once the list is cleared, then I restart the list, reopen the list. And if you pick Balloon Week, and if everybody picks Balloon Week, then I do Balloon Week. So yeah, that's why it's there. Have you ever done a butt week? What kind of butt week? The problem is that basically because a bunch of this stuff is happening on YouTube, then I haven't really done that. You know, I have done Pornhub only stuff, and that's on Pornhub. But that's basically usually only commission stuff, I guess. So, yeah. I'm considering getting rid of the Feet Week channel as well, my foot channel on YouTube, because essentially YouTube keeps blocking all the videos that I upload anyway, so what am I going to do? But yeah. If you want to vote, here is the list. Art Week, Guest Week, Live Week, Advice Week, Furry Week, Cigar Week, Leather Week, Feet Week, Funnel Week, or Squishing Week. That is the list. Panafox, howdy dude. We were just talking about the art stuff that I was doing. Actually, I'm just gonna. Nah, never mind. Nah. I was going to open up the question again about, you know, furries and ethnicity and stuff, because, you know, it's really hard to pick an ethnicity. Is that the right thing? You know, it's hard to pick a furry's race when you turn them into a human. So it was like, yeah. I just didn't know what your thoughts are on the whole subject. I've gotten a couple of backlashing random bullshits, by the way. When I posted the Little John picture to Twitter a while back when it was finished, and I basically took it down because there was a random super racist comment about, like, why is Little John black? You know, shouldn't he be white? He was voiced by a white guy. He's in England in the, you know, in the whatever century and stuff like that. It's like, it's just what the furry character reminds me of. It looks like a black guy to me. But yeah, it was just really, really uncomfortable, cringy and stuff. So it was just like, yeah. It's weird. I've got a weird furry superpower where basically, if I look at a person, I can tell you what animal that person is. You know, and I'm not talking like spiritual, like animal senses or their spirit animal, anything like that. I just mean, like, what animal would they look like best in the furryverse? You know, in the furry universe. You know, it's actually really irritating because it slightly changed my perspective on certain people as well. Because I've got a friend called Trevor. He's a really nice guy. He's a big ginger bear and stuff. Like I said, he's a really nice guy. Fucking cat. He's a big ginger cat. You know, he basically exhibits all of the characteristics of being a big ginger cat, in my opinion. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm allergic to cats. I don't like cats very much at all. it's kind of made me feel weird conflicting feelings around him, to the point where I've almost gotten like sympathetic allergies, if that makes sense. That's weird. My stream went off for a second, just for a split second. But yeah, I've got my best friend. He basically, his partner looks like a lion. You know, I did the furry senses thing to him, and basically looks like a lion. He just does. But it also works the other way around. You know, I could look at a furry and basically like see a person in that, and that's just it. That sense doesn't see race. It's hard to explain. Because I was just thinking to myself, what race should Pete be? But Pete's always been a white guy to me, even though he's a black dog. But his muzzle's got white skin, so it's like, yeah. But he's definitely a white guy because basically Pete has the voice of my cousin, and my cousin is white. So there you go. Anyway, the K rule was very interesting. Yeah, like I said, I think I did him like he's kind of like Brazilian, you know. He's kind of like Brazilian Samoan. See, ethnicity with him is a bit tricky to pin down. I was saying earlier that essentially I kind of see him as like a chunky Chris Rock type person. But anyway, be careful with foot stuff. Women are allowed to be a provocative and sexual as possible, but men can't show their bare feet without getting banned. Yeah, I know. The channel has already gone through a bunch of stuff. The foot channel, you know, my foot stuff has basically been on YouTube, has been suspended at one time. It came back like almost immediately, but yeah. Not gonna lie, it gets confusing me. But same here. People get super angry over having an Asian David Copperfield. There's nothing easier than making racists angry. I don't know. Is it historically accurate? That's the problem. Is David Copperfield an actual person? I was just thinking to myself, oh my god, am I history failing right now? Like, who is David Copperfield? And why is he important? And who is he? And stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is just like when I was little, when I was very small. And basically, when I was a kid, I thought that, oh my god, who was it? It wasn't Sherlock Holmes. It was somebody fictional that basically what I thought was real. I found out a bunch of like, I think it was like, oh no, was it Arthur, King Arthur? There's a bunch of characters that are like they're fictional, but so much has been written about them over time that they could be considered as being real. You know, there's like so much lore in these characters, in this history of these characters, that basically it kind of gets woven into actual history. It's like weird. Sherlock Holmes, I think, is definitely fictional. There's people that are like the people who claim to be, you know, the inspiration for Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. So he's kind of real. It's a bit weird. Anyway, yeah, I've heard about this David Copperfield thing. Because there's a movie or something, isn't there? And I saw it and I was like, I don't know what's going on. but I'm okay with it. It never bothered me, but then again, I'm not racist. Funny, Pete is black, is a black cat, and black to me. Yeah, somebody said this to me the other day. He's a cat, right? In a dog universe. Yeah, Goof Troop is set in the dog Disney universe. They're all dogs. It's a version of the furryverse. Pete's a dog. By this logic, Pete is a dog. Yeah, his wife's a dog, his son's a dog, Pete's a dog. So originally he was a cat. I will give you that. Originally he was a cat. I know that. But simple fact, he's a dog, and although he's got black fur, his muzzle, all of his muzzle, his giant chin, is actually there's white flesh underneath the fur. It's just fur, you know. So it's like, so you could argue that he is white. So yeah, but I think it's a personal thing to everybody. You know, what you consider furry characters. Is it choppy to you guys? Is it choppy to you guys at all? It keeps, my screen keeps blacking out for some reason. Is the audio at least coming through okay? Yeah. Yeah, furry fictional characters. I think that if you want to basically like stamp a race on any of them, then I think it's personal to each individual and stuff. I don't think it's actually like you know, like everybody must decide what race, ethnicity, whatever you want to call it, a certain character is. I think it's basically personal preferences and stuff. So yeah, to me, Pete has always been my cousin. So yeah, my cousin's a white guy. So basically, I'm gonna draw him as a white guy. Also, probably beardless. I'm gonna end up with another picture of my cousin again. I'm gonna have weird feelings about. It's just like the whole biker cop thing that I drew a while ago. There's a picture I drew a while ago of a biker cop, and my cousin is a police officer, and essentially he was a biker cop. He was a fat biker cop who likes donuts. He was a stereotype, and I drew this character based on somebody. I think it was a commission. And it ended up being my cousin. And I was like, I'm really happy with the way this drawing came out. You know, it's kind of like it turns me on. I can sympathize with this guy. Like me donuts, like me bikes, like me uniforms, and that's my cousin. Oops. So yeah, I'm gonna basically draw my cousin, and it's gonna be annoying and awkward, but yeah. There's a woman on YouTube who crushes bugs between her tits, but men can't even show their feet without getting a warning. No, you have to be very careful on YouTube. Also, I found that basically YouTube is very odd anyway, because it will target specific people and specific channels. That's why I spread out the channels out so much. Because this channel there's nothing here. YouTube basically just hasn't paid attention. They don't care, you know. I can probably say anything I want, and they would not give a shit. And I can show anything within reason, and they would not give a shit. And yet, basically, if I show my feet on the foot channel, it's because it's got the word feet in the title of the channel. I think that they seem to pay super much attention to that channel in particular. Even if I put the videos sometimes as in unlisted and then release them, like, it's weird. They notice. So it's, yeah, YouTube's just finicky. They are getting harsher. It's becoming more difficult to basically just be a channel on YouTube. We're having to tiptoe around very, very specific rules. And I just want the competitor already to be YouTube, you know, to be the new YouTube. I'm waiting for it. Pornhub seems to be building like a video hub, VidHub, or whatever it's going to be called. They seem to be building their own thing, but it's just that they keep teasing this and never bringing it out because, yeah. But yeah, I'm waiting for there to be an adequate, basically, response to YouTube, and there just never seems to be one. So I'm still stuck here for a while. But then I won't have to worry about, you know, learning how to do all this again on a different website. So yeah, fun. Anyway, that's the weird fun thing about dogs and cats. They don't really have races at all. Yeah, they do. There's different breeds of dogs and cats, I think. But all I see when I see a cat, I basically just say that's a cat because I don't like cats. Cats don't have feelings for humans at all anyway. So yeah. But dogs, yeah, you could say that basically there's a bunch of different breeds. So they even have accents, apparently. There's been weird studies carried out with animals. Anyway, but yeah, I see what you mean. Essentially, like I was saying, it's kind of up to us to impart. We can draw them any way that we want because, you know, if we were going to make them human, we could draw them any way that we want because it's up to us. You know, it's personal preference. Did Pete get a divorce? I don't know. I think so. I've stopped following Goof Troop for a long time. I watch the movies every now and again because I actually really like the music in movies and the movies themselves and stuff. Just as it's a weird story. I like it. The whole a very goofy movie and an even goofier movie, or whatever it's called, the next one. Only because it's basically very connected to my childhood in particular. Yeah, I don't remember it so much because. Did you hear that? That sent chills up and down my spine at 3:20 a.m. in the UK, just in my shed. My computer decided to just slowly raise the buzzer, and then it turned off. What was that? I'm not getting any error messages. It's not frozen. What was that? Did you hear that? God. So, slightly freaked out. Slightly freaked out by that. That's, yeah. Completely forgotten what I was talking. Anyway, yeah, I completely lost the story. I kind of want them. I want all of the Goofies. Somebody said that you can actually get all of the Goofies on like a set, on a set DVD, and I wanted it a while ago, but I just never really kind of like shopped for it or anything. And I don't have the money now, so I can't get it. And I also wanted all of the, you know, what should be public domain Disney stuff, and Goof Troop, including the movies. I think there's three. I think there's three Goofy movies, because isn't there one that's part of the Christmas thing that I was talking about? I don't know. By the way, there is a if you're looking for some really nice animation of Pete, and really nice up-to-date modern animation of Pete, then check out one of the Disney Christmas movies, because it's a collection of stories and stuff, I think. And essentially it deals with Goofy and Max. It's basically like a really nice epilogue to whatever happened in Goof Troop, the end of Goof Troop, and also and the Goofy movies and stuff, and also well, Pete's in it, and I think he's only in it for like one or two scenes, but the scenes that he's in it, essentially super detailed character animation, it's very much close-ups of his face, and just the expressions, like they nailed it pretty perfectly. But also there's some very, very beary poses in it, which makes me believe that either a young cubby guy or a bear enthusiast or a bear animator was in charge of this particular thing. And I keep thinking to myself, there's one very well-known bear director, animation director, who may have been around at the time. He might have already moved over to DreamWorks at that time, that basically could have had something to do with this, who I know for a fact is a fan of Pete. And essentially I was like, maybe it was Dean. Maybe it was Dean, I don't know. But yeah, look out for that. I don't know what it's called. That's the problem. I would look it up myself, but I don't know what it's called. So it's a bit choppy. But yeah, I do not know if he actually got divorced. A little, the audio is fine. It takes a while for the pictures to catch up with the video. Having fantasies about family members is difficult. I grew up with a massive crush on my uncle and granddad. You see, the thing is that it's a bit hard to basically describe my feelings for my cousin, because my cousin is well, I'm a genetic copy, it seems, of my cousin. He's 10 years in front of me. He's about 10 years in front of me, and he's like eight or nine, could even be 7, I don't know, but there's a few years age difference between us, but essentially we look identical and we sound identical. Like, I tried to do my American accent and it almost sounds like him, almost, but he's got a very specific American accent, and essentially it sounds like Pete. Anyway, if I did, this voice with Pete's accent would basically be Pete's voice. Anyway, that's the voice that my cousin has. So yeah, it's not so much a case of having feelings for my cousin, because I don't really. It's more of a case of, like, if you had a clone, what kind of feelings would you have for that clone? Because that seems to be what's happening. We have very, very similar genetics. We are basically the same person. It is weird how freaky accurately similar we are. We have exactly the same tastes in a bunch of stuff. And as far as, like, bears go and people that I should find attractive, I had an uncle who was like super bear, and essentially I didn't really have any feelings for him because he was my uncle. But essentially he's like a super bear, like I said. It's weird. So yeah, I don't really have weird feelings about this stuff. I more of have a weird feeling if basically somebody showed me a picture. If somebody showed me a picture of a guy that looked incredibly like me and stuff, and I wouldn't know how to feel about that. I have weird feelings about that. I would have weird feelings about that picture. I have weird feelings about the furry art that I draw of my characters that are supposed to be me and stuff. Characters, even human characters that look very much like me, or are based on poses that I've done and stuff like that. I I have very, very weird feelings about those because I don't really know if I should be allowed to be turned on by them. So yeah, it's a bit weird. Cool. Question mark? What was that about? I still find it funny that me and PJ have the same nickname. Is it just PJ? Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Is that it? I think that might be it. Or Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. Oh Jesus, there's two of them. Of course, there's two of them. It's Disney. Probably the second one hasn't got best and the better animation. I don't know. It just seems to be a thing with Disney sequels. They don't have great animation and stuff. I know what you mean. My uncle was a scoutmaster who always wore short, tight shorts and was kind of my sexual awakening. Okay, pest control. Yeah, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. There are people out there who basically have told me things of like stories of their uncles or their stepfathers or even weird feelings that they've had about their dad once they're older and stuff like that. And I'm not going to name names, but I don't see any problem with that. It's just it's your actions. It's not really what you're thinking. It's what you do about these thoughts that basically determines if somebody's going to judge you. So yeah. If I had a clone, I could finally get somebody to give me a hand job. Yeah, okay. It's just that when you start to both notice. By the way, it was he that first noticed this because, well, he's older. When you start to notice the similarities, you don't really get those kind of questions and feelings come up. It's more of a case that you just kind of feel like it's your brother, So what would your clone would be essentially your brother. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but I seem to have gotten all of the good parts of being my cousin's brother, if that's a weird thing to say, without any of the arguments. We've never had an argument. We seem to be like very good friends, if anything. We've never beaten each other up. We've never done any of that kind of stuff. So it's just a bit of a weird thing. So yeah. What are our voting options this week? I did read them out, but I'll read them out again in just a second. But yeah. So yeah, pest control. It would be kind of like your brother. How would you feel about that? We do know each other's like secrets, by the way. It's not really that big of a deal. It's not really. It's also not that big of a deal. For example, it's not really a secret, but we're both bisexual. He's with a woman, and I would be with a woman if she hadn't run away. And I'm not blaming her for that. We've made up and stuff, but it's like it's weird that we're both bisexual. Like I said, we're clones. We're clones. We have exactly the same kind of taste in music, in food, we know exactly what kind of drinks that we like. We like the same kind of cigars. And it's weird. It's we all like the same kind of stuff. It's just that yeah, he's in America. It's just very strange. Anyway, there is I want to say Japanese. I can't really tell. Yeah, Japanese. I do not read Japanese. What are our voting options this week? Okay, you can vote for Art Week, Guest Week, Live Week, Advice Week, Furry Week, Cigar Week, Leather Week, Feet Week, Funnel Week, or Squishing Week. Those are your options. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I also try not to talk too much about my cousin because he knows about this now. He knows all about my internet activities. It's very, very odd. So yeah, he knows because his interest was perked to one time by one of you guys coming up to him and asking him, "What the hell are you doing in the US?" So yeah, it was like, oh my god, I don't know why it's actually cringing. It's causing me to cringe a little bit thinking about it. But yeah. It's like it's kind of like the same feeling that I get when like one of my relatives basically says to me, "It's like, oh, I found your Pornhub channel," you know, like, oh, why were you looking for this stuff? So I'm trying to find the book. I like this new chair, I do, but its wheels are stuck. Odd. Right. Anybody else doing any voting? Panel folks, do not be psychic and look at the Discord. It will be spoilt for you if you look at the Discord. Right, squish, squish. I have to find a channel that I can actually upload to as well. Is there a squishing channel? Do I have a squishing channel? Do you guys know? I don't know. I'm going to close the Discord poll now, in fact, and I'm going to basically just write down. Panafox, are you still there? Oh, shut up. No more yawning. No more yawning. No more yawning. Oh, you bastard. Did somebody else just do it? Yeah, Panafox and FMF, just stop it. Don't look at the Discord, and I swear to God, the furry week just got an extra vote. I swear it was 4. Now I'm writing 5. But now it's 6, isn't it? Because Panafox. Okay. So, leather. Where's Leather Week? Oh my God, where is Leather Week? Oh, there it is. Found it. Yeah, polls are closed on Discord. Okay, so the results are, because I'm just going to do the results. Why not? You know, the results are: Furry Week has 6 votes. Guest Week has no votes. Live Week has no votes. Advice Week has no votes. Leather Week has 2 votes. Cigar Week has 1 vote. Feet Week has 1 vote. Art Week has no votes. Funnel Week has 1 vote. And Squishing Week has 2 votes. So the winner is Guest Week with no. No, I'm kidding. It's Furry Week. Furry Week gets. It had 6 votes. Yeah, no voting on Discord still. I'm gonna clean it up first. But when voting does get back on, you can vote for. So I'm just fixing my book. I'm fixing the book. Art Week, Guest Week, Live Week, Advice Week, Cigar Week, Leather Week, Feet Week, Funnel Week, or Squishing Week. You can vote for any of those. Live Week. What? I'm going to put my random vote in. Give me a moment. Got a bit of a headache for some reason. Still really confused about why my computer yelled at me a minute ago. So, anybody got any ideas for Furry Week? Also, if you want to vote, then now is the time. If you want to vote again for next week, then now's the time. You can vote for Art Week, Guest Week, Live Week, Advice Week, Cigar Week, Leather Week, Feet Week, Funnel Week, or Squishing Week. So there you go. A cousin of mine tried mocking me for being on Scruff/Growler. He only knew I was there because he was too. Yeah, that's weird. Why would they do that? I know it's not an option, but Balloon Week. Well, you can't have Balloon Week yet. You can't. You have to wait for all of these to be done, and then you can vote for Balloon Week. When was the last time Balloon Week was happening? Balloon Week happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. Also, I just stabbed myself with a pen. Be a mischievous character, cause some naughty mayhem. What do you mean? You mean as a furry? Well, I could blow up a balloon. I got one right here. I'm really hoping that basically it's not going to degrade by the time I actually use it. But I could do that. In my fursuit, I just don't know what good would come out of it, you know? It's just kind of a boring video, just me blowing up a balloon in a fursuit. Well, in my version of a fursuit, a very low budget fursuit. You know, right. Well, if no one's going to vote for next week, then I'm going to close the book. I'll put it back down. Yeah, Panafox, you like the K rule. You said it came out good. I just touched a spider. Don't crawl under there. Oh shit. Blow up right now. I can't. I'm sick. Well, I don't want to. I'm sick. You know. Also, don't tell me what to do. I know you said please, but yeah. Yes, it did. You said it looked good. That's good. As long as somebody enjoys it, I will keep drawing it. To be honest, all of the shiny effects and stuff that I did for that picture are great. They're fun. I liked it. I like the challenge and stuff. But it was a bit annoying because basically I had no framework to work off of. I had to work off of basically my own style. Whereas when I did Baloo before and Little John, I was basically working off of the style. I was trying to mimic the style of of the classic, the Xerox era of Disney animation. It was like it was a bit hard, but it was less hard than this. That's why this one took a while to do. Also, the Pete one is going to be a bit of a, like I said, it's going to be a bit more relaxed because it's Disney animation. It's not the absolute masterpieces or anything, but essentially it's going to be mimicking Disney style again, which isn't that hard. So yeah. In other news, there will be an art class sometime this week, probably tomorrow, maybe the day after. It depends how I feel. My voice is already going, so yeah. I'm gonna have to have a haircut again. I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna draw a fuzzy fat guy. That's not gonna be that hard. I might draw him in his robe. I don't know yet. I have to figure out how to draw Pete. Sorry if I'm bouncing around topics. It's just that I'm trying to end the stream, and I basically don't know how again yet. I'm trying to wrap everything up, and it's like, what else do I have to do? Do I have to do this? Have I mentioned this already? I don't know. Didn't mean to sound demanding. I was just excited. Usually better keeping myself under control. Dude, it's okay. It's okay. Would Bowser be a challenge? Well, because he is a 3D character and I can't mimic that style, there have actually been Bowser cartoons. Like actual Nintendo Bowser cartoons. So essentially I could mimic that style. But Bowser, isn't that like you kind of you're aiming a bit. Hasn't Bowser been done to death as a human? I feel like I've been mimicking one of my favorite artists who basically can paint online. Can paint on the computer and stuff. I can't remember his name. Oh. If you look up human Bowser, I'm sure you'll find him. But there's a very, 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 very nice example that I want to show you. But yeah. Everyone is thirst for Bowser. Yeah. I don't mind trying to do my interpretation. I do not mind doing that. But I'm doing Pete first, okay? Decide if you want him after Pete or not, or if you want me to do somebody else, or somebody else might decide that they want me to do somebody else. Who knows? Who knows? Rhino Scoutmaster. Who? Honestly, he's basic bitch at this point. Bowser, like I said, yeah. He's all over the place. In a good way. He's all over the place in a good way. Right, guys. Like I said, I will be back sometime this week live on the Meadow, over at the Meadow, for art class, because we're getting into the later stages of one of the pictures, and we'll be doing the setup soon for another one. Guys, you know where to put these. I want the name and basically a example picture if you got one. You know, it just makes it easier for me to look for more reference art and stuff once I have the name, because if I just have a picture and you don't give me a name, it's really hard. Because I did look at Panda Fox's list of like recommendations, and I couldn't figure out a bunch of their names. But then again, that might just be because I'm shit at names. So basically, if you have an idea, wait for me to finish doing a picture and then ask. When I ask who's next, that's when you can pounce in there and just suggest one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Trying to think of like something else, but seriously, there was something else, guys. But I got nothing. By the way, this series that I'm doing, that might have been it. The series I'm doing a furry as a person. It could be vice versa. I could do a person as a furry. You know, it's just, yeah. It could even be a specific kind of furry. You know, you could basically tell me to draw a certain human person as a wabbit or something. So yeah, I'm trying to. I'll mention it. I'll post something on Discord if I remember what it is that's bugging me. I just keep thinking to myself, I'm forgetting to tell you guys something, but is it really that important? I don't know. Anyway. Belly rubs. Stretch. And belly salute. And Bill. In case I'm labelled as well, I like that. In case anybody doesn't know. I'm a Bill. It's actually kind of funny because, like I said, if I do the animal sight thing, you know, the thing where if I look at a person, I see an animal and stuff. If I do that to myself, I mostly come up with dog and pig. It's usually dog and pig. So, yeah. Anyway, it could even be like you. Seriously, it could just be a random person. It honestly doesn't have to be a famous fur or anything, but it would be helpful for referencing pictures of this person. Anyway, bye for now, guys. I wonder where Jeff was. I've got a feeling that it's basically whatever it was that I had to say. It was probably something that I was going to say to Jeff. I know Itchy. I know there was something I was going to say to Itchy, and it's about Bob's Burgers. It's about Tina and how he looks very much like Tina. But yeah, anyway. Bye, guys. I'll see you sometime this week, hopefully. And yeah, it should be the Daddy Dog Tubs channel that should be open, where I'll be posting stuff on YouTube anyway this week. So keep an eye out for that. And if you've got any suggestions for furry videos, let me know, either in the comments below or basically on Discord or something, because I got nothing besides potentially just blowing up a balloon. But again, that's a bit boring. That's just one idea. It's just I need more data for this video. I want to make my videos at least 5 minutes long. So yeah. Anyway, guys. Bye bye.